Hey, Coach Miller here with BTB Lax, and today I want to talk about Coach Starsia's book, I Hope You Will Be Happy. This book was awesome. I read it through once, and I'm reading through it again a second time. It's broken down into 4 parts, so I have 4 separate videos about the 4 different parts and key takeaways that I found inside the book. So if you don't know, Coach Starsia is a legendary coach. He was head coach at UVA and at Brown. He won a ton of championships. I know several people who've played with him, and they say that he's not only a coach, he's essentially a philosopher, and he's a great writer, and I really highly encourage you to check out his book if you're a parent, if you're a player, or if you're a coach, or you're just a lacrosse fan, because it's awesome. So let's dig into the book a little bit and talk about it and break it down. I also wrote a summary about it on my blog, so you can check that out. The link is right below this video, so you can check that out as well. But I think it's great, you know, just even for me as a coach to read, and he's a person to read, because it's just got some really good stuff in there, both for lacrosse players and for life as general. So part 1 of the book is about these letters that he wrote. Coach Starsia was an avid letter writer. He would write tons of letters to recruits all the time, staying in touch with them, sharing his thoughts, letting him know that he was thinking about his recruits, and that helped him become a great recruiter. It helped him get great players to UVA. It helped him have great teams. But one of the letters is a letter to a freshman. He gives his son some advice about how to approach and how to handle himself going into his freshman year in college. I highly recommend you check that out. Some gems in there for anybody to follow. He has another letter in there for rising sophomores, 2 key takeaways from there. He suggests if you can, you know, I wasn't ever able to do this because I had a summer job and had to go home, but if you can, to try to stay one summer on campus so you can, you know, work out with a strength coach there over the summers, work on your game, do some other stuff, maybe get a part-time job like with a school doing some sort of, you know, labor that way. He also is not a fan of pledging fraternities, thinks it's a distraction. It can, you know, take away from where your focus should be, which is school, family, and lacrosse. He has several letters to parents where he talks about recruiting and how parents should act and his experience and some of his stories with that. I love this. He talks about starting today. He says a lot of people put stuff off until tomorrow or the next day or next week. He goes, you have plenty of time if you start today. I think if you follow my stuff and you read some of my articles and whatnot, I'm all about starting today and keeping it going. I'm essentially a believer in no days off too, even if it's a small task, you're doing something on every single given day. Keep the momentum alive and keep it going to build those small wins, which I like to talk about. And lastly, in terms of lacrosse, he is adamant about becoming a great passer. So you should really work on your craft of becoming a great lacrosse passer, have that touch where you can throw a floater, be able to throw it in there, be able to catch at different angles, and be able to do it in stressful situations in a game. It takes a lot of work, but every player on the lacrosse field should strive to become a great passer. And if you do, you will find yourself on any lacrosse roster if you were a great passer. Those are, you know, college coaches, high school coaches, club coaches, youth coaches love great passers because they work the ball around and they're reliable and they can keep the offense moving, they can keep the ball moving up the field, they can do all sorts of stuff. So becoming a great passer, another key takeaway from part 1 of Coach Starsia's book. I hope you will be happy. So Coach Miller here. I got some more free stuff for you. Just click on the link right below this video. Talk to you soon.